Good day guys, today I'll be showing us the process of sewing this Ankara shorts with two side pockets and waistband, and the length I'll be going with is 18 inches. You could use 19 or 20, and I was using 2 inches for my waistband. That's what I measured up here. Then I added 2 inches extra, that is 20 inches. That's for seam allowance at the down part. You could add 1 inch depending on what you want. So after that, I was going to cut it out. Remember, you could make your whole length 19, 20, at most 21. Anything above 21 is no longer short again. It's already going to 3/4. So now let's get straight into the business. So this was me measuring my hip line. After your waistline, the next line you are going to be measuring is your hip line. And my own hip line is, my hip depth is 9 inches. Some can be 8.5, 9.5, but mine is 9. And after that, you're going to be measuring your crotch line. And my crotch line here is 12.5. How do I get my crotch line? I divided my hip circumference by 4 inches plus 1.5 is your crotch depth. If you don't want to measure yours like this, you could just tell your client to sit on a flat surface and measure from her waist down to the flat surface. So this was me labeling the lines. That is the hip depth line, and that's the crotch line. Some people used to call the crotch line a bed. Instead of measuring your waist circumference divided by 4 plus 2 on your waistline, you will use your hip measurements divided by 4 plus 2 inches on your waistline. Why? Because it is an elastic band for easy access to enter your bum bum. So that is what you'll be measuring on your waistline. On your hip line too, you measure your hip measurements divided by 4 plus 2. Same thing you are going to do on your crotch line initially, just to form a straight line from your waistline down to the crotch line. Then immediately after your crotch line, you are going to be measuring your laps, which you also call thigh. The circumference of your laps, the rounds of your laps, divided by 2 plus extra 2 is what you are going to be measuring next after your crotch line. And that was what I was measuring here. After you measure it, you mark it. After that, I went to remeasure the length of my shorts. That was what I wanted to do here. I was holding 2 inches extra upward. That's for the band. Then I measured my 18 inches for the length, and I also added 2 inches for sewing allowance. You can add 1 inches to yours. It is not still bad. Do you get? So after that, I went back to my lap. You know, I've already measured the upper part of my lap immediately after my crotch line. So the lower part of your laps divided by 2 plus 2 inches sewing allowance, that's what you're going to mark on that 18 point down to the extra 2 inches for sewing allowance. Then after that, you just make a cuff line from that your crotch line blending to your hip line. Then I also come down by 1 inches at this upper part, and I slant it towards the side. Can you see the way I was doing it? And that one is there. I measured that so that your short is going to sit well at the front of your waist. It is not going to be bulgy. So that's why I used to measure 1 inches down at that side. Then what I was doing here was just cutting it out. That's the first process. Then I was slitting it into 2. That's the first process for this tutorial. Then the next process is what? I took another fabric, fold it into 2. Then first thing first, I measured 2 inches at that area. I measured 1 inches down. I measured 2 inches at that part on the second fabric. Then I slant it down to the edge. Then the next process on the back side is to measure 1 inches at that side. 1 inches. Then when you get to the crotch line, you measure what? You measure 2 inches. Then you cuff it. That's what you're going to do for the back. Those are just the things for the back. Then you cut it out. The back does not really need much paparazzi. You place the front on the back Add 1 inches at that side I added. Add 2 inches to extend your crotch. Add 2 inches at the upper part, then slant down and cut it out, just like I was doing here. Then I separated it and I want to cut the pocket here. I measured 4 inches by 5 inches. Then I slant it. That's for my pocket. You can measure your own 4 by 6, but I preferred 4 by 5. That's what I was doing here. Then I just cut it out. Then you look for another fabric. You place it on that part you cut. Then you trace it out. That's for your pocket. Make sure the fabric is long enough so that when you fold it, it is still going to replace where you cut. Then going to the band. Then I folded my band into 2. I got 2.5. Opening it, you'll be getting 5 inches. Then you just slit it open. That's just for the band. I'll be posting how to sew it in the next video. You can drop any question in the comment section and I'll attend to everything. Thank you very much. Bye.